Alright, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to start digging into this fuel system. Like I mentioned in the last video, the fuel tank is pretty janky. Hopefully it's salvageable because reproductions don't exist. This one's got a huge dent in it. I'm going to try to get that out with some compressed air. I'll show you guys that. And it looks like I might have a small leak, but that can be patched. If it's just a little tiny leak, it's no big deal. But first I have to get it out, which is going to be interesting. It's held on with two straps that have hooks that lead up more towards like the trunk area. It's kind of an interesting system. But the actual threads have a lot of gunk and corrosion on them. And I don't have a long enough socket for the impact wrench to actually impact them off. So hopefully I don't snap them. But if that's the case, we'll figure it out. But for now, I'm going to see what happens trying to get them off. Stay tuned. I got a Dremel with a little wire wheel on it. Gonna try to clean up these threads while I'm thinking about it. Just to give me the best chance of not snapping these guys. Better, but hopefully it works. We'll find out. Well, at least I can see what I'm working with now. Try to pop this drain, see what happens. Poopy! Well, so much for that. Hopefully it doesn't have much in it. Guess we'll find out. Okay, I dragged the tank over onto the driveway and took the little rubber matty thing off. This is definitely the original tank, which is cool, but I don't know. It's also lots of years old. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, this tank is just too far gone. You can see that's more than just a little hole. Unfortunately, the rubber mat thing, assuming that's to dampen vibration, held in a bunch of moisture in this divot and rusted it out. And I mean, yeah, this whole section is just super soft. I can poke my finger through it. So I'm gonna have to figure out something for a fuel tank. 'Cause like I said, aftermarket, they don't exist. Huh. So if anyone's got any ideas, otherwise I'm kind of stuck on this fuel tank for now. I was hoping to make a video about cleaning it out and resealing it, showing you guys how to do that, but it's not even savable. So I don't know what to do about that. Okay, apologize for not recording the process of adapting the Galaxy tank to work in the Lincoln. I had a plan of making a big old video and everything, but I was recovering from a stomach bug and was barely managing to actually work on the car anyway without vomiting. So didn't record the process, but it's really not anything too difficult. It was just cutting the filler necks off and putting one from the other tank on the new tank. Galaxy tank is a little bit smaller, a few gallons, probably 3 or 4 gallons smaller, but I'm not really that worried about it. But yeah, it's a simple process. It's just you have to be careful, obviously, cutting and welding old gas tanks. Luckily, the Galaxy tank I found was pulled many, many years ago and was perfectly clean inside. No rust, no fuel left over or anything. So I didn't have to worry too much about welding to that. I just had a wet rag stuffed down the filler neck to make sure no sparks or anything got anywhere they shouldn't have. To cut the old one, I can show you how to do that safely real quick. What you want to do, fill it all the way with water. Past where you're actually planning on cutting. That way no sparks can actually get into your fuel tank and cause any problems. I also used a Sawzall, not a cutoff wheel, so there were no sparks. And it worked, it didn't blow up, so that's good. And for welding to the new tank, like I said, I just stuffed a wet rag down the filler neck. And the seam, I put RTV silicone around the seam of my weld just to be doubly sure there's no chances of leaks, hopefully. But this tank, I can't actually show you, but outside looked really crappy. The inside's mint. It is perfect inside, no rust. There's maybe a smidge of varnish and that was it. So that'll work pretty much perfectly. I already test fitted it. Even my grommet from the original filler neck and tank works. So it's just, one thing I'm not sure about is the straps for the tank. They're much longer than the tank I'm putting in. So I don't know if they're actually going to hold it securely. But come to that point after I actually get everything tossed in. I'm still waiting on a new sending unit for the Galaxy tank, but that should be here tomorrow or Tuesday, so shouldn't be too big of a deal. But I will continue this video throwing that new tank in, and hopefully it works out. I also have to extend the wire for the sending unit, but that'll be a 2-minute job, so stay tuned. All right, the time has come. I got the radiator back in, got fuel lines on, all new rubber fuel lines, got the radiator filled, a few gallons in the tank, filled the float bowl, and I put an extra fuel filter in there just in case Who knows what's in those lines, even though I blew them out. So it's time to see what this, well, time to see if this thing will actually fire and stay running on its own. Yeah, I did find a coolant link that spilled coolant all over the intake, the valley pan or push rod cover, whatever you want to call it. So if it does run and gets warm, it's going to smoke pretty good for a little bit, but it's no big deal. So let's see what happens. I think this is the right key. Yeah. Is there any charge left in the battery? Yeah. Idle seems pretty high. Oh yeah, what the heck? It's sticking. No fuel from the tank yet. Pretty sure this fuel pump works, I'm not sure. So close. Not sure why it's not wanting to stay running very well. Let me try the timing a little bit, maybe. What's going on now? How about squirt? This guy's leaking, even though it's new. Not sure if that's the hose, this crappy old hose. I just didn't seal it very well, I'm not sure. Unless it's flooded, which is possible. Okay, the timing seems even worse now. Kinda loud when it's running. me. Yeah, you can see all the paint burning off the headers. They're manifolds, I guess. They're not headers. It's rag. Overflows. Definitely got some heat. That's good. Got some blow by too, which is not so good. But hopefully that comes out of it. Yeah, it needs another oil change. Kind of stuff that's been coming out of it. And it's also low. I don't know if I had a bad head gasket at one time or what. Maybe that's why it was parked. Okay, now it's full. It's just that oil is garbage. Again, this is brand new oil. Yeah, okay, it needs another oil change. But at least we're getting all this crap out of it. That's good. Oh, man. Cool, okay. Fuel pump's working. Not leaking. This guy right here is leaking. I can't tell. I know this hose is a little too big for my new. So I might have to jump it down or get a new hose, which is a brick. So on the other side, it's not bad. Actually squeezy. This one's not. So that one's going to have to be replaced. But I'll take it. What about underneath fuel lines and stuff? I don't see any fuel leaks. That's good. All that under there is all the coolant from that leak I found and didn't have a chance to fix. Or I forgot to fix before I filled it with coolant, so I spilled a bunch, but no big deal. Sick! Alright, we know it runs. I'm not going to run it anymore, not very much more with that oil in it. Yeah, I want that oil gone. So, it is what it is, but it's working. It runs really good. I'm very surprised. So now that we know that, we have to try to fix everything else. Brakes. I know the master cylinder leaks a little bit. It was full of crystallized goop. That was apparently at one point brake fluid. So I know that needs to be addressed, and the transmission was stuck in park when we got it. I know that sometimes when they sit, the little latch for the park can stick. So hopefully, once we get this thing warmed up a few more times and try to work it through the gears, it'll come free. But that'll be for the next episode. Again, I'm kind of picking away at this thing slowly. So I know it seems like I'm skipping a bunch of stuff that I'm not showing, but sometimes I'm only out here for a half hour to an hour at a time. So it's kind of hard to really catch everything I'm doing, but hopefully you guys still enjoyed it. If you like the channel, the like button, subscribe, notification, all that crap you hear everywhere. But I do appreciate you guys checking it out. Really like to know your feedback, any tips on this car. You don't see these things much around anymore, and the information is hit or miss, but I'm getting there. And the book helps a lot. But again, thanks for checking it out, guys. Catch you later.